Hi guys, Hounds Armor here, and today we're looking at the Grass Snake V2. Let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get into the blaster, I would just like to remind all of you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to see more content from me, I just started an Instagram for the channel. So, if you go onto Instagram and search @Hounds Armory or follow the link in the description below, you'll get some teasers and some sneak peeks, as well as if I ever remember to and I go thrifting for Nerf, I'll throw up some videos or whatever I feel like. So go ahead and look over there, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you want to see more content from me. So now we can finally get to the blaster. This is the Grass Snake V2 from Freedom Blasters. It is his second iteration of his magazine in-grip flywheel the world pistol. And oh my gosh, is this thing fun. It's bulky, it's chunky, and it doesn't help that I have the long nose on here. I went with the long nose. There's a regular that's about half the length, and then there's just a teeny weeny one that just kind of ends right here, and it makes it a very compact blaster. I went with the long one because I like big pistols, as you know. Yeah, I like big pistols, and this makes it a little easier to holster, and it does fit perfectly in my blaster parts holsters. So let's talk aesthetics, eh? My first kind of disappointment with this thing is that it's not a bunch of pieces externally, but that's a really good thing for building and for reliability, because there's only 3 external parts. So there's only 2 cracks in a mag well for like dirt and stuff to get into. But it means I can't do what I usually like to do with printed blasters, which is like my caliber in here. I like taking the different parts and printing them in different colors to get a very, very clean finished look. Whereas my paint jobs aren't always all that clean. That being said, this blaster does have some really nice lines for if you do take advantage of them with a paint job like I ended up doing for this blaster. It looks really nice. I ended up just painting it completely in white, and then going in with some black vinyl dye and some Citadel red paint and just some gold paint. I can't remember what I used to get this really awesome kind of Destiny feel paint job. At least that's kind of what I was going for, and I think it works. I really like it. Aesthetically, it's great, though, like I said, bulky. Ergonomically, it's pretty good. I think the linchpin is going to come down to the grip, whether this is comfortable for you or not, because it is a full Talon mag in your grip, so it has to be pretty chunky. And especially at the base here, it's a little rectangular, though the scallop in the back does help it fit in your hand better. Even so, it's a pretty big grip, so if you're not sure if you're going to want this pistol based on the comfort, I would suggest doing like a test print of just the grip section to see if it fits in your hand. That being said, for me at least, the grip is just fine. The trigger falls right under my finger, and you can see just how much of a hair trigger that rev is. And the magazine release, which is why I wanted this blaster in the first place, fits right under my thumb. Now, like I said, this is the second version of the Grass Snake, and from the beginning, the Grass Snake has been a toolless disassembly, flywheel the world pistol, mag and grip, all that goodness. My problem with the first one is there wasn't a mag release, so you just had to grip and yank the magazine off the bottom, which doesn't fit with kind of what I want in a magazine fed sidearm, because it makes reloading a little slower. That's a different video. However, this magazine is one of my favorite I've seen designed for the hobby. I know the Mr. Heath Pants' Pigeon, you kind of push down on the trigger guard, and then there's another one where you kind of push back on a paddle up here. I like this one the best because it's I think 3 pieces including the pin that holds it in, and it's ambidextrous and it feels very natural to push in to the blaster. So I really like that. Overall, I really like this blaster. It's cool, but we'll get into my opinion a little bit more. But first, let's look at a teardown to see just how amazingly designed this blaster is. So, to do a full teardown of this, first you want to take out your magazine, put that over there, and then you just want to lift up on the back of the top here and slide your cover off of your battery, which just sits on top here. The whole upper section here is mostly hollow for your battery, so you can fit even a pretty chunky 3S like this one here in there with a battery alarm, as always. Then you're going to want to take out this screw right here. Ooh. I can do it without dropping my screwdriver. That lifts off this guide base plate for your battery. Don't lose your screw. And then you see everything that's going on in here. You have one mainspring right here that controls your pusher, and that is the hardest part about assembly because you have to get it tight enough to depress the switch when it's all the way forward. And I found just with some trial and error you can get that pretty good. Next, you're going to want to push out this pin right here holding on your barrel, and yeah, I can't get that with my fingers. I'm just going to grab some pliers. Your teeth would work in a pinch, and pull out your pen. Then your barrel can come off. This is just an aesthetic piece, so this is the long one. There's of course the regular one which is short, and then there's just a little front cap. And if you want to leave the barrel off, this will work just fine. Now you have two screws holding in your flywheel cage. You have the one up here, but I like to start with the one over here so you don't crank your switch. You want this to be a good long screw so it goes through your switch and into the cage. Then you have this one up here. You can see my very globby soldering job. And then the cage just lifts off. And this is all of your electronics for this blaster, which is just crazy to me. You've got your little cherry switch here that is held in by your screw that comes through the shell here. Nice pair of flywheels, a couple honey badgers in here. So that's your electronic components over there. And all your mechanical components are in here. The first thing to take out, I'm trying to remember what order I did this in. Okay, so first you need to get out your magazine release, and I guess I need a tool for this. So to finish disassembling your grass snake, you're going to want a paper clip. A little bit of spare filament might work, but it's not working for me right now. And you're going to want to start by punching out through this hole right here. My paper clip will work, yep. And pulling out the magazine catch pin there, which then will release your magazine catch and maybe your spring for that. Mine's wanting to stay in there. And then your actual button can fall free. You can see down in there, that's where your little spring goes for your magazine catch. Next, I'm gonna undo one of the screws on my trigger bar. So I release that spring tension. And then lost that screw. I'm gonna have to find it, put it back together. Just punch out the last pin here. Come on. Yep. which then should let your pusher slide forward and out. Oh, I'm dropping all sorts of stuff. And then the rest of your trigger linkage to just drop out. No, of course, you want to have all these greased up pretty good just so everything moves smoothly. And that's something in general I really like about this blaster is how few pieces there are. There's only 3 main shell pieces. All your electronics are all mounted to 1 printed piece. There's only 7 or 8 moving parts on the inside, which makes construction very easy. Put her down like that. Take 2, wrap up shit, yeah. Now, here's where I was gonna put in some firing footage, but sadly, I blew out a motor. I was experimenting with a bunch of different dart types because I'm new to the whole fly with the world? Yeah. And I'm getting good results with most darts, especially Adventure Force waffles, which I think we all know are really good in flywheels. But I just want to put a word of warning about the Nexus Pro darts, the new awesome half darts from Adventure Force. They really don't like flywheels. The heads are really soft and squishy, which is great, but they get gummed up and pulled in the flywheels badly. I was having troubles in my Magpie when I was working on that recently. And these darts just blew out one of my motors. So I don't have any firing footage. Might have taken some earlier that I'll splice in, but don't let that detract from this design. This thing is so well designed. There's so few parts that it's somewhere between aggravating to get the bits in and amazing that it's so simple to put together that I can't give it a bad review for anything. It's very well done. It's a big chunky magazine-fed pistol. What more do you want? I don't have anything else, I guess. Yeah. Awkward rambling because I can't say enough good things about this blaster aside. Thank you so much for watching. I am really enjoying making content for you guys, so please subscribe, leave a like and a comment down below. It really helps me keep going, just a little bit of feedback from my audience. That being said, I did start an Instagram, of course, like I said, links everywhere. So go check that out for some sneak peeks and some previews maybe, and some just projects I've got ideas for. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.